So, engineer, you promised to use 10 minutes.
Okay, I've been given 10 minutes after Prof of all people have spoken. The first Prof spoke, the second Prof spoke, and we also had the chairman, an author of repute, spoke, and I have been given 10 minutes to actually do what? Speak. So please, can we share the grace? And I go and take my seat. I think that to be fair. All right? So I've been given 10 minutes to do a summary of what I wanted to say. But I will simply use a story to not touch my slide so that this crowd will actually come pay me for the presentation I was supposed to do. All right? Okay. 2008, I had the privilege to decide whether to go for youth service or to go for an entrepreneurship training with one of the people that were commanding authority as far as business is concerned in Lagos, Dr. Sonny Ojabese. I was in between, should I go for the youth service or should I go for this training? And I didn't send myself to school. You know who sent me to school, right? So where do you think they will stand? Youth service or, yeah? Where? This side or this side? Okay, so they will want me to go for youth service, but like Prof has already said, my mind had already been tampered with because of some of the books I read, and I knew, yes, you studied engineering, but that's not the path. So I decided to sneak with a night bus to Lagos for that 3 weeks training. And in those 3 weeks, my mind was shaped, and I made up my mind that if there is anybody that is going to succeed excellently, outstandingly, as far as planet Earth is concerned, from my family, from my region, it's going to be Oyimo Dotai. And how did I know that? Dr. Sonny Ojabese said something after the 3 weeks class. He said, I want each of you to come ask me just one question before you go. And when everybody showed up, asked questions, and left, I went there and I said, sir, I came all the way from Akwa Ibom with a night bus, making up my mind that the next time me and you meet, you will have every reason to be proud that I came for your 3 weeks program. And he looked at me and I said, sir, what one thing will you tell a young boy who is hungry to succeed as far as planet Earth is concerned? And the man looked at me and said, who told you to ask that question? He closed the window, he closed the doors, and he held my hands and he said, Uyime, if it is working anywhere in the world, there is somebody who knows what works that is working it. I repeat, if it is working anywhere in the world, there is somebody who knows what works that is working it. He said, your job is to hold on to who knows what works. Your job is to hold on to him till he shows you what works. Because there are two principles locked there. There is knowledge and there is all-out massive action. You cannot run with one. You must run with the two. And you cannot start with number 2. You have to start with number 1. So when I left that place, I made up my mind, it's late. Dearly beloved, 2008 till date, I have stood in front of people of repute. 2008 till date, I have touched small figure that I look back and I can trace to that place. 2008 till now, I have been privileged to stand before the presidency and make entrepreneurship training. And my father that didn't like the idea initially said, Aju me. So locked in those two principles, I validated it first from my home. Why am I saying that? I came here to share with you some of the things Dr. Sonny Ojabese poured into me that has been helping me. But I had 10 minutes, and I believe my 10 minutes is off, so I can just stop here. You want to give me 2 more minutes? I'm not going to. There are a lot of things I would have just liked to run us through, but you know, I've been given 10 minutes, and I like keeping to time. So it's 2 minutes. So I will run up by saying, if it's working anywhere in the world, there are certain things I would have loved to show us. But bring it on. The eyes, the nails. Oh, you also want it. Okay. So how many minutes is the hall giving me now? The hall will decide my minutes. I'm not a politician. How many minutes? How many? 30 minutes.
Just 10 more.
Okay. So I believe I could. Beautiful. Okay. So when you look at those iconic buildings that you see there, where Prof lived in the US, what is keeping these buildings standing sustainable and strong for 10 years, 100 years? Some of them, the people that built them are done. If you dig their graves, it's just bones. What keeps those structures? The foundation, right? Now, I don't want you to call it foundation now. I want you to call it the things that are not seen about the buildings are what keeps the buildings. The part of the building you cannot see are what are the things that keep the building. So when you look at somebody that is extremely successful, doing well in business, forget the fancy, fair things that he tries to show you. It's a calculated distraction so that you will not come for the things that are not seen. So your job is to pay attention to the things that he is not saying, he's not showing. He makes mistakes to say them in places he is pushed. So you just pay attention. He's not the normal one he writes and comes to tell you. Mommy, you will not remember me. The last meeting you spoke in Yosima, I bought your book and I downloaded it page to page. Aspire, right? I downloaded the book and the next time I'm going to meet Mommy, I'm going to share certain things with her from the book. And what a privilege to share stage this day with the same person. So the things that you cannot see are the things that keep the structures, right? Now, Mommy tampered with something and I have been rattled from the beginning. She mentioned the word unicorn. And she said something that there are just a few in Nigeria. A few unicorns in Nigeria. And looking at us now, imagine that all us sitting down here are unicorns. You know what that means? And she said, a unicorn does $1 billion. I didn't meet her when I was preparing my slide. So she aligned with the things I had to tell us today. If we're going to do this kind of figures, then there is something we need to pay attention to. We need to shift from individualities to systems. We need to consciously, deliberately, intentionally reprogram our minds away from I can do it to we can do it. So it is systems that make this young man start a business that most people in this hall have done. What's that? A few of us here have websites. So he started a website, they call it university. Actually, they say online university. If you go to download any template of a website, you will see some of them that will call online university. Just put uyimo.tai online university. That's what he started with 2006. And today, because he understood something, he's my uncle. Because he understood something. Just stop looking at the color, he's my uncle. Because he understood something, he has been successful enough to wake up and say he wants to sell it and somebody wants to buy for 1 billion and somebody pays 1 billion. The question is, what were they paying for? Were they paying for a website? No, they were paying for a system. People don't buy individuals, they buy systems. So our focus is to build it as if we want to sell it tomorrow. When we build it that way, we will build it to a level that people don't have choices but to reach out. So he started his own, a normal spare part business. The contemporaries that they were building the business with him till date still have 1 or 2 shops. What moved him from 200 naira to 500 million? Somebody said system. System. He said he went to buy something from Leventis. And he said, I saw the way they were doing their things, the processes, the systems. I said, no, I can't just be doing that one shop thing. And he reprogrammed his mind from individuality. Before, his bragging was, I know all these parts. I know which part of Mercedes can enter BMW as an individual. But he realized that will take you thus far. There is a limit your own language, knowledge, and gra can take you. But when it comes to systems, when you understand it, you become limitless. So he moved from 200, and lastly, my auntie. All these people are my relatives. Don't look at me like that. All right. How do you sell puff puff and mama put? Let's not make it nice. Just call it what it is then. How do you sell mama put in school environment and move to each property you see Jevenick is owned by the Jevenick brand? And none of those properties are anything less than 100 million. So you have over 10 spread across. A woman that didn't go to school. How do you move from that small thing? I showed you all those people to tell you that it doesn't matter the idea. My time is up, right? You've forgotten. Okay, all right. So how do you move from selling something that everybody is selling to selling it in such a way that if she wants to sell the Jevenick brand today, the figures will be amazing. So what's that trademark that all of them have? Systems. 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 Processes, technologies or tools, and people. Gives you consistency, repeated result, automation, again and again. Repeated. It doesn't matter whether the person had gone to school or not. The moment the person decides, covenants with himself, that I will build a system out of the things that I am doing. It may take time. It may take Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Nothing shows. But without fail, systems bring results. Systems bring results. So this is the first system, the value creation system. The value creation system that Prof had already done justice to. The question is, you wake up, you produce things, and it's easy for you to just do it again and again. But you can't leave, because if you leave, that value cannot be created again. People don't buy products. People don't buy service. They buy solutions to their own what? Problems. So we are all selfish people. And in creating systems that have to do with value creation, I need to ask questions. What's the problem I'm trying to solve? And for who? And how will I create it in such a way that the person, when he sees it, will recognize it? I was looking for a bottle of Coca-Cola. So I did this illustration. I showed people a bottle of Coca-Cola and I asked, what's this? All of them said Coca-Cola. The moment I tore just that paper, I didn't open it. I just tore the paper. And I asked the same people in the same hall, what's this? Somebody said Zobo. Wait, what's the difference? There is how it needs to go out. And people will say, this is what I am looking for. So the different processes, the different technologies, the different people that you need to work with to bring that thing to something you can repeat again and again, again and again, again and again, again and again, is what you should pay attention to. I have seen people do business with granite, and their granite is traveling around the world, not because they are spectacular individuals, but because they decided that granite will pass through a system. Granite will pass through a system. So it's high time we say to ourselves, enough of just doing something to survive. We need to begin to build systems. So pillar number 1 is what? Value creation system. Now, I decided to use this because of the audience in this place. All of us here that signed up use Google, right? You use Google. 1999, these young people were number 18 in the search engine business. 18. They came late. But there was something. They saw a problem that other 18 that existed before them had not seen. What was the problem they saw? They noticed that there was poor quality of search engines in the market. So there was a gap. So I don't copy the woman that sells food, fresh food, because the woman okay, No. I see the problem. There is a problem I will see. If we are to tell everybody in this hall, what problem are you seeing in this hall? We will all say different things. How come when it comes to business, we just want to copy and paste? I need to wake up and begin to see my own problem of that same thing. It's still the food business. Some people are selling food. Some people are selling the training. Some people are not selling the training. Some people are selling manuals. Some people are not selling manuals. Some people are selling recipes. You must come to that point of seeing your own particular problem. You must see it. You must see yours. That's where your signature comes from. I don't bother who does what I'm doing. As long as I didn't look at what he was doing, my focus was, I noticed a problem. So these young men saw a gap, and they decided to fill that gap. The search engines that existed were not organized. The informations were not universally accessible, and they were not useful. Those were the problems they saw. And they decided, this is the gap we want to close. We don't know what the other 18 are doing. We will close this particular one gap. Closing that one gap has led them to creating products and services that we are all using. We are in this hall because of those products and services. So you can see over 276 products have come out from those value creation system. And see their report card. 1999 to 2021, see the report card. It's not because they are in US. No, don't think that way. Prof has already told us not to think that way. It's because they saw a problem and decided to build a system around it. And building a system around it translated to this. Most of us use this. Procter & Gamble is not interested whether we know their name. They just are interested that we are using their products. And that's all. They are focusing on solving the problems in the house. So even the small kiosk is selling Procter & Gamble's products. So that's system number one. System number two. I hear people say, I am into business, but I don't like marketing. You actually don't understand what marketing is. Marketing is simply what? Attention. What is that girl doing? She was supposed to head towards this direction. Her neck face turned. What else is turning? If people are not turning to look at the products and services that you have created, your business is dead. It's just a matter of time. So if you are not doing anything, if you are not creating a system that makes people aware of what you do, if you are not creating a system that makes people interested in what you do, if you are not creating a system that makes people decide to vote with their money for what you do, you are actually setting that business up for failure. It might be a beautiful business. It might be a beautiful product. It might be the best of the products, but I have tried a few things enough to know that it's not the best product that does well in that marketplace. It's the best noise-made products. They make so much noise that you say, let me give it a try. So if I look at your stuff, so I'm still using Google, it's your people. Over what? 3 billion Google searches what? Per day. So you see the money they made, you see where it's coming from. So they have been able to get the attention of over 3 billion people every single day. Every single day. Dearly beloved business people, let's tell ourselves the truth. If they were to tell you, ask you this question sincerely, how many people have heard about your business today? How many people have heard about your business this week? How many people have heard about your business this month? This is the problem. There is no which anywhere. We actually are not doing what we are supposed to do. The day we do what we are supposed to do, things just have no other option but to do what? To move. So look at it. Procter & Gamble puts 11.5 billion. I'm not saying you should spend money yet. That's not what I'm saying. I'm simply saying that when you look at a company like this, 185 years, I think it's wisdom to learn from them, right? It's wisdom to learn from them, right? So they put in 111.5 billion US dollars and they make just 7%. And that 7% is still in billions. 7% still in what? Billions. So I need to go back and ask myself, what systems am I putting in place to market the products that I am doing? Sorry, every single person that stayed here and during the interviews, one of the things they did, I don't know if you noticed it, but me, I noticed it, is that they were doing what? So if I market at the end, I hope you will be okay. Beautiful. All right. Beautiful. All right. So Procter & Gamble is doing 230 billion. Do you know why? Now, this is somebody that is selling what? Snails. And every now and then she writes some things about the benefits of snail online. She tells you things that you begin to say, snail, you show up, snail, snail, and he's telling you there is 4,000, there is 9,000, there is 8,000, there is 16,000. You know there are people that have complex problem. They should have eaten this 4,000 because their pocket can only accommodate 4,000. But because their friends are there when they want to order it, what do they order? 16,000. So God answers the prayer of the person that puts his thing outside there. So say, put your thing outside there. Put your thing outside there. Put your business outside there. Yes, put your business outside there. So that's my YouTube channel. You can see more of the information on entrepreneurship on that YouTube channel. Just copy that name, go and search it, like and subscribe. All right. So finally, tell somebody collect the money. A system that collects the money, a system that must of necessity collect the money. A lot of people heard about what you're doing, but it's not everybody that will pay. But the ones that at least come to say, how much is it and all that, don't tell them you don't receive POS. Don't tell them you don't receive. Find a way to collect the money. Collect the money. Collect the money. Collect the money. So, see this as I round up. So, if that person does the marketing well, the volumes begin to come in. And show me the records as I round up. System number 4, records. The system number 4 is administration. I'm not talking about what you used to buy and what you used to sell. I'm talking about what did you do? Did you record what you did that brought you to this place? That's what Mama's book is talking about. Please pick her book, Aspire. You will really find this one there. This one is detailed inside there in administration. What did you do to get the results? All right. So look at Google. They will tell you where all their customers are coming from. Their websites are site, and click this. That slide I just used is all yours. Thank you very much.
Money where we got
Thank you.